He sits across from you at the coffee shop one afternoon. He is wearing a plain gray t-shirt with dark jeans and a Casio watch. That costs $40 on his wrist. He drives a 6-year-old Toyota that he parked 3 blocks away from the coffee shop today. He orders the small coffee at the counter. He pays for it in cash from his wallet quietly without any noise about it. You have known him for 14 years of your life total. You have watched him build quietly what most people spend their lives announcing. They are about to start in their life with money-making. You do not know his net worth at all. You will never ask him. You suspect the way you suspect the temperature of a room before you step into it, from the doorway looking inside the room briefly. That the actual number is much larger than you would even guess at all. This is what a quiet millionaire actually looks like today. Not the version on the highlight reels you see on social media, not the one in the rented Lamborghini in front of the rented mansion. The real one is what he is, the one who has built something that does not need to be explained, and therefore is not explained at all. Every level from broke to untouchable is a quiet decision. The world will never actually see from the outside looking at the person. Most people only see the destination at the very end. They never see the 7 small wars a quiet millionaire wins to get there. You are about to see all of them right now in this video, from the loud beginning to the silent end of the journey itself. When you are broke at this stage in your life, you are loud about money in every conversation you have with people around you. You do not realize that you are being loud about everything money-related. You think you are simply being normal and acting like everyone else does. You complain about the bill at dinner when it comes to your table. You make jokes about being poor that are too true to be jokes. You announce your raises at work to everyone. You announce your bonuses publicly to anyone who will listen to you. You post the new shoes online. You post the new jacket photo online for likes. You make sure everyone knows when something good happens financially to you in your life. Because the good financial things are rare enough to be events in your young adult life right now in your 20s. So you broadcast loudly. This is not your fault at all in any meaningful way. Loudness is the language of scarcity, itself in its purest possible form ever. When you have very little to your name in life, the small wins are the only proof you have that you are moving forward at all. And the proof needs witnesses to confirm its existence to other people. So you broadcast it all to your friends in your life, and to your family members at home, and to strangers on the internet who do not even know you in real life at all today, because you are trying to make the wins feel real by saying them out loud to other people around you in your life. The watch on your wrist right now is the only watch you actually own at this point. You bought it on credit cards last month. You wear it every single day to work and out around town. You catch yourself glancing at it in mirrors not for the time, but for the version of yourself that you suggest you might be becoming through wearing it daily in your young life right now today. The watch is performing for you on your wrist, not for the world around you, actually as you walk through life day to day. The world is just the audience that you imagine in your head while you are walking around with the watch on your wrist daily. Money at this stage in your life is not a tool of any kind. Money is just a story you tell yourself to feel less ashamed of where you started in your life and your family origins growing up. Every single purchase is a small chapter in that story now. The shoes are a chapter, the jacket is a chapter, the watch is a chapter you are writing, the dinner you cannot afford is also one. But you post about it online for everyone you know to see. You think you are building a brand for yourself slowly over time. You are not actually building a brand at all in any real way. You are spending the energy that should be building a foundation instead. The loud stage is the stage where every dollar that comes in goes back out before it has time to compound in your accounts. Because compounding is silent in its nature and pure mathematical form. And you have not yet learned to value anything that is silent at all. The thing you do not know yet at this stage in your life is that the people who are actually wealthy in your city are not in photographs. You are studying online and in magazines all the time. They are not at the tables you are trying so hard to be seen at. They are actually at home in their own houses. They are at small coffee shops drinking coffee. They are wearing a Casio watch every day. You will not understand this important truth for another 10 years of your life in your young adult journey towards real wealth at all. You stop posting on social media first in this level. That is the very first sign that you are entering level 2 of your journey. It does not happen on a specific Tuesday in your life. It happens slowly over many months the way a habit fades when you stop feeding it at all in any meaningful way over time. You do not announce that you are stopping at all. You just simply stop doing it. The reason for stopping is small at first in your mind. You realize that the post you made about your raise did not change your raise. The post about the new shoes did not give you the satisfaction that the shoes themselves were supposed to give you in the first place. The dopamine ratio shifted in your brain over time without you noticing. The work of performing wealth started costing more than the wealth was worth. You also notice around this time in your young adult life today that the people whose financial lives you actually admire never post about money. Not in any direction at all in their public presence. They do not announce wins anywhere. They do not complain about losses ever in public. The topic of money has somewhere along their journey moved off the surface of their lives entirely into a quieter place underneath all of it. You start to wonder if that move is something that you can also practice in your own life going forward into the next stage of life. You begin to practice the new way of being quietly in your life. You stop announcing the raises at work to coworkers and to family members. When a good thing happens financially in your life, you tell 2 people about it, maybe 3 people total in any given event you experience. The people who actually need to know about your good news, you let everyone else believe whatever they were already believing about your finances. Whatever they were already believing about your finances and your situation. You discover that the energy you used to spend on performing has not disappeared. The energy is now available for other things in your life going forward. You are surprised by how much energy that performing wealth was actually costing you over the years of performing for everyone in your life and your social media presence around you all the time daily. Your bank account begins to do something it has never done before in your life. It accumulates money over time without leaving your account. The accumulation is small at first when you begin to notice it happening. $2,000 in total, then $5,000, then $9,000 quietly. The number is not impressive in absolute terms compared to many wealthy people. The number is impressive relative to your previous self who could not hold on to $500 in your bank account at all, without finding a reason to spend it on something non-essential to your life. You buy your first quiet thing in this level of your life. A simple watch on your wrist this time around for daily wear and use. Not the Casio yet at this point in your life, that comes much later in the journey, but not the loud watch either anymore. Something modest in its appearance and design overall. Something that does not announce itself in a room when you walk into the space at all. You wear it for a full week before you finally realize something important. That you do not feel any worse than you felt in the loud watch. You feel if anything slightly better than you did before, with the loud watch on your wrist all the time during the day. Lighter on your wrist somehow at the same time as wearing it daily. The absence of the loud watch is the first taste of a new luxury you did not know existed before this point in your life journey. The luxury of not needing to be seen by other people around you in any way. You disappear from one circle in this level of your life journey. It is not dramatic in any way. It is not announced to anyone at all. You simply stop accepting invitations to a particular kind of dinner over time. The dinner where everyone is performing the lifestyle they would like to live. To be assumed by the others around them at the dinner table. The dinner where the bill is the unspoken event of the entire evening. The dinner that costs 4 hours of your life total, and produces nothing but a hangover the next morning and a single Instagram story. You replace those dinners slowly with quieter ones over many months in your life, smaller groups now, 2 or 3 people maximum at the table. People who do not need to be told that you are doing well financially, in order to actually enjoy having a meal with you together. The conversations are different at these dinners than the previous ones. The conversations are about ideas, and about books, and small things people are building. In their own lives outside of this dinner conversation that you all share, money is not the centerpiece of any of these dinners at all. Money is barely mentioned by anyone seated at the table during these meals. The absence of money as a topic is for the first time in your life. A feature you actively seek out in your social life moving forward. Your spending changes shape in this level of your wealth-building journey now. You stop buying things that need to be seen to be enjoyed at all. The car gets older over time, but you stop noticing this fact entirely. The clothes get simpler over time, but you stop noticing that fact too. You discover that the things you actually enjoy, when you strip away the performance, are quieter than you originally assumed they would be in your life. A book on a Sunday morning quietly read with your coffee in hand. A long walk outside in your neighborhood through the streets where you live. A meal cooked at home with someone you love sitting across from you. A conversation that lasts past midnight because nobody wanted to leave the gathering. None of these things require an audience to be enjoyed by you. The watch question begins here in this particular level of your life journey. You consider for the first time the watches that quiet, wealthy people wear. You read about them in private at home alone in the evening hours. You learn that some of the most expensive watches in the world are the ones that look almost identical to a basic Casio watch on the wrist. The lesson is not lost on you when you read it. The most expensive things at the highest levels of wealth are the things that are designed to look like they are not expensive at all to outsiders. The point is not actually the price tag of the item itself. The point is that the wearer no longer needs the price to be visible. You do not buy the watch yet in this particular level of your life. You are still in level 3 of your journey towards full quiet wealth. The lesson has been planted in your mind for the future. The lesson will mature properly in level 5 of your wealth-building journey years ahead. You stop trading time for money in this level of your life. Not entirely at all, in any way, still doing some work and earning income. You still have a job or a business or a thing you do daily that produces income for your life every month coming into your account. But the relationship to work has shifted in important ways for you. You are no longer a hostage to the calendar of meetings and appointments. You can take a Tuesday off without filing any paperwork at all. You can decline a project without performing an apology to anyone in the office. You can leave a meeting that is wasting your hours of life at the office. Time becomes the currency you watch most carefully in your life now. Money is a means now in your life and not an end in itself. The means is for buying back hours you used to sell willingly. You used to sell freely for low prices in your earlier career years. You begin to view every purchase through a completely new question instead. Will this purchase give me time in my life? Or will this purchase cost me time in my life going forward into the future ahead? The question changes the purchases completely in your life from now on. You stop buying things that require maintenance and ongoing attention from you weekly. You stop buying experiences that require recovery time afterward in your weekend. You stop buying status items that require performance from you to anyone. The list of things you do not want grows longer than the list of things you do want in your life moving forward into your future. And the longer it grows, the more wealth you actually have inside your accounts. Because wealth at this level is the gap between income and want. You become genuinely difficult to read from the outside by people in your life who have not yet reached this same level of wealth building themselves. They cannot tell from the outside whether you are doing well or struggling in your life. The car is older now and showing some age finally. The clothes are simpler now than they used to be when you were younger. The watch is now a Casio finally on your wrist daily. Although nobody has noticed yet the change to Casio on your wrist, because nobody is looking at you anymore at all in your social circle. You have stopped giving them anything to look at in your appearance. Inside the house, things are different than what people see from the outside. The accounts are growing in a way that has stopped being surprising to you. The brokerage account, the retirement account, the rental property cash flow grows. The small business profit too at the same time as the other income streams. All of them are quietly compounding without your daily attention right now. You check them once a month total instead of more often than that. You used to check them twice a day every single day of the week. The shift in your checking behavior is the shift in your identity itself. You no longer need the dashboard to confirm that you are okay financially. The dashboard runs on its own without your daily attention or intervention required. You are okay because you built the structure that makes you okay. You buy the watch finally in this level of your life and wealth-building journey, not the loud one, of course, but the quiet one this time. The one that costs a real amount of money for you, but does not look like it costs anything at all to outside observers around you. You wear the new quiet watch for a full 2 weeks straight on your wrist. You realize something important after wearing the quiet watch for that time. That the watch you wear most often is still the Casio on your wrist daily. The expensive watch lives in a drawer at home in your bedroom now. You do not regret the purchase of the expensive watch at all in any way. The purchase taught you something important about yourself that you needed to know. You had thought you wanted the watch all along in your earlier years. You discovered by buying it that what you actually wanted was the freedom to not need the watch at all in your life from this point forward. The freedom to not need is what you had wanted the whole time. You start subtracting from your life in this level on purpose intentionally. You take things out of your life on purpose every single week now. The subscriptions you do not actually use anymore at all in your daily life. The friends who drain your energy without giving anything back to you ever. The commitments that no longer serve your life in any meaningful way going forward. The clothes that have been hanging in the closet for 2 years unworn. Without being worn at all in that time period, the accounts you have at banks you no longer use in your daily life or financial management. The accumulation of small noise that everyone collects in their life, without noticing it happening over the years, gradually piling up around them all the time. You begin to understand that wealth at higher levels is not about what you can afford to add to your life going forward into the future. Wealth at the higher levels is about what you can afford to remove instead from your life over time as you continue to grow as a person. The luxury of subtraction is not available to people in the lower levels yet. They are still adding to their lives and acquiring more things constantly. They are still acquiring things to add to their lives every single week of the month. They are still trying to fill the rooms they bought in their 30s. To prove something important to people who were never actually watching them anyway, you move to a smaller place in this level of your life journey. Although it is not really smaller in actual square footage in any real way, it is the same square footage as the place you had in level 3. But you chose it deliberately this time around in your life with intention, and everything in it serves a clear purpose that you can articulate yourself. There is no room you do not enter regularly in the house. There is no closet that holds things you forgot you owned years ago in your past. The home is calibrated to your actual life and needs at this stage. The home is quiet in its overall atmosphere and feeling throughout the rooms. The home reflects who you have become rather than who you wanted strangers to think you were back in your previous earlier years of wealth building. Your friends in this level are different from the ones you had earlier in life. They are quieter than the previous friends were in their conversations. Many of them have done the same kind of building you have done over the years. None of them mention it to each other when they are together. The unspoken agreement at the table among them all together is that money is not what is interesting about anyone here in this room at all. What is interesting is what they are reading and what they are thinking about, what they are working on quietly, and who they are becoming as people. The money is assumed by everyone at the table without being announced ever. The money is not the topic of conversation at all in any direction. The Casio is still on your wrist as it has been for many years now. You have stopped thinking about the watch entirely at this point in life. The watch has become so unimportant to you that you have stopped having opinions about it at all in any meaningful way that other people would notice. This is you realize one Sunday morning the actual definition of arrival itself. Arrival is not when you can finally afford the loud watch in life. Arrival is when the loud watch and the quiet watch have become the same thing to you in your mind without any difference between them at all. And the only reason the Casio is on your wrist still today is because it has not broken yet, and you have not needed to replace it. You stop thinking about your own consumption almost entirely in this level of your life. The infrastructure is built and standing on its own already today. The income exceeds the lifestyle by a factor of 5 at first now, then 10 times eventually as time passes, then 20 times more recently in your life. The math no longer requires your daily attention or weekly review for any reason. The accounts grow in the background of your life without active engagement now. You read the quarterly summary that comes to you from your financial advisors. You sign the documents that your advisors prepare for you to approve quickly. You return to the work of being instead of doing all the time. What occupies your attention now is architecture in its broader meaning beyond buildings. Not the architecture of physical buildings or homes at all in any way. The architecture of the structure you are passing forward to the next generation. Trusts and the legal entities that will protect what you have built carefully. Foundations that you have created to outlast you and your generation in time. Scholarships that will fund education for people you do not know personally yet. Businesses that will outlive you when you eventually pass on from this earth. The questions in this level are no longer about what you can actually buy with money. The questions are about what you can build that will still stand later. When you are no longer here to maintain it personally in the future, you become careful in this level about who actually knows your name and identity. You give significantly to many causes that matter to you in your life now. Almost none of the giving is announced publicly to anyone in the public sphere. You fund a scholarship at the school in the town you grew up in originally. The scholarship does not have your name attached to it in any way. You buy a building for a small organization that helps people who are where you started in life. The organization does not know who paid for the building. You make the gift through 3 layers of legal structure that protects identity. Because the gift is for them, and not for you in any way at all. Your social circle has shrunk in this level of your life journey. Not because you have become cold to other people in your life and world. Because the kind of conversation you can now afford to have is a conversation. That requires depth, and depth requires fewer people sitting at the table. With you in your life going forward into this stage of your journey, you have 8 friends in total that you see often at this point. You see no one else in your life beyond those 8 people consistently. The people who used to be in your life have either kept pace with you or quietly drifted away from you over the years of your wealth-building journey, and the drifting was no one's fault in any way at all, I think. And the 8 who remain are the ones who never asked you for anything ever, except for your presence with them in their lives during your time together. The Casio is still on your wrist as it has been for many years now. The expensive watch is still in the drawer in your bedroom unused. You have not opened the drawer that holds the expensive watch in 2 years. You have a small thought one morning that you should give the watch away. You make a quiet note to yourself about giving away the watch in your mind. You do not act on the thought yet at this point in your life. You will act on the thought in the next level of your life journey ahead. Level 7 is where the watch will finally leave your possession forever. You become untouchable in this level of your life journey at last. Not in the way that the loud people picture it from the outside looking in. Not gated behind security in a private estate, somewhere out of view. Not surrounded by security personnel on every side of your daily life and home. Not famous in any way that anyone in the world would recognize you walking. Untouchable in the only way that actually matters to you in life now. You are no longer reachable by the things that used to reach you. The things that used to make you afraid no longer find you anymore. The things that used to make you want no longer move you in any way. The things that used to make you perform have lost their audience inside. You inside your own mind and heart at this stage in your life today. You are not invincible at all in any way to all the hardships of life. You can still get sick in your body. You can still grieve over losses in your life. You can still lose people you love in the world. The world has not stopped being the world for you in your daily life, but the financial weight that crushes most people for most of their lives. The specific weight that crushes most people throughout the years of their existence has been lifted off your chest completely at this point in your life. And the lifting was so gradual over many years of your wealth-building journey that you almost missed the moment when it became completely total in nature. You walk through your life now the way a man walks through a town he built, quietly without announcement of any kind from yourself to anyone around. The waiters do not know you in the restaurants where you eat regularly. The neighbors do not know you on the street where your home is. The people at the small bakery you go to on Saturday mornings know you only as the man who orders the same thing every week and tips well. They do not know what you have actually built quietly over many years of your life. They do not know how much it cost you to build it all. They do not know that you are technically the wealthiest person who has walked through their bakery door in the history of the place actually being open. This is what untouchable actually means in its truest form at this stage in life. Untouchable is when you no longer need the world to know what you are. Untouchable is when the absence of recognition is no longer a wound to you. Untouchable is when you have built so much so quietly over the years that the work has become its own reward in your life going forward. And the reward does not require an observer to confirm its existence to others. You give the watch away in this level of your life finally at last, not to a person at all, in any way you know personally or otherwise. You give the watch to an auction house instead of giving it to someone specific. The proceeds from the auction fund a clinic in a country you never visited. The clinic serves people you will never meet in your lifetime at all in person. They will not know your name or anything about who paid for the clinic. The watch is gone from your possession forever now in your life going forward. The Casio is still on your wrist as it has been for many years. The Casio is the only watch you have actually worn in 14 full years now. The Casio is, you realize, the most expensive thing you have ever owned in life, because it cost you the entire performance of wealth over the years of your life. And the cost was the price of becoming truly free from the audience forever. You sit on a porch in the late afternoon at your home in the countryside. The light is golden warm and beautiful all around you peacefully today. You are alone on the porch in the golden afternoon light around you. You are not lonely at all in any meaningful way in this present moment. The two are different from each other in important ways you finally understand now. The quiet around you is the quiet you spent 20 years building deliberately. The quiet itself around you is the actual wealth you have accumulated over time. The quiet itself is the actual answer to the question you started with years ago. The quiet itself is the thing the loud people will spend their entire lives trying to achieve and never reach in their journey through their own lives. Because they will keep trying to buy the quiet instead of building it slowly, over the many years of their lives like you actually did building yours. The quiet millionaire is not a man with a specific number attached to his name. The quiet millionaire is a man who learned that wealth is the absence of needing anyone to know what you have actually built over the years of your life. He started loud in his early years of trying to build wealth. He ended invisible in his later years of his journey through wealth building. The invisibility itself was the actual prize at the end of the journey for him. If you are still in the loud stage of your journey right now today, do not be discouraged by where you are in your wealth-building journey at all. Every quiet millionaire was loud once at some point in his earlier years of life. The work to transition from loud to quiet is the same for every person. The work to do is to stop performing the wealth you have not yet built and start building the wealth that you will never have to perform for anyone. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this one on the journey. The next chapter is about how to begin the quiet from the loudest place you have ever actually been in your own life journey at this point in time, even if you are starting today from the loudest place you have ever been.